As you were talking about that, that's exactly an experience Airbnb went through. I actually led that effort at Airbnb. I took 3 years of my life
Oh my gosh, we
to,
should we should talk about that one
yeah,
day.
I've written about it here and there, but
Yeah.
honestly, very quietly is one of the biggest transformations Airbnb went through, shifting from I'm going to go request a book to basically every booking now on Airbnb is instant. And that was a very difficult and painful journey. But looking back, I don't think Airbnb would have made it if not for that.
So, like as an example, one of them is, at Facebook scale, doing things that don't scale or doing things that start out small was just a muscle that was, really hard to come by, right? It's like any community product that you build, any kind of like social where like there's community density that's important, like early on, any product that you build that way, starting with 1 million users is really a really hard way to do that. And at places like Facebook and Google, it's like, it's hard to run an experiment with 100 people. It's not hard. It's impossible. Right. And so this idea that, you would have to like get real small, that you would have to start very targeted, that you would have to start with things that like clearly don't scale and aren't, kind of don't have a chance of being kind of big from the get-go is really, really hard in an organization like that. And so creating that space for NPE to be able to do that, to be able to help remind the organization what are the mechanisms we need to be able to build and learn that way was very beneficial. Even simple things, like at an organization of Facebook size, maybe you experience this at Airbnb, like it is really hard for product managers, engineers, and designers to talk directly with customers. It is like basically impossible. You're almost always like talking through some third party, some recruiting, agency, like, and getting like reports, and you're not always in the room. And imagine like building a startup, like a product from day one, and not being able to sit right next to your customer and being like, show me how you do this or show me how you do that. It's like, it's incredible. It's incredibly hard. You're looking for such faint signal. The idea that you would try to get it through like layers of indirection and games of telephone is crazy. But at that scale, that's what you have to do, because there's there's all of these legal concerns and many other realistic concerns about what you can say to who and who you can talk to and what you can tell them about what you're doing and all of these things. So creating an environment where those sorts of constraints were lifted and were different was very beneficial, I think, to the organization, and kind of started to shed a light on some of the things that were broken that make it hard to kind of build 0 to 1 in those sorts of environments.